Hey, 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 y'all. Come on in this room. Hey, what's up? Let's have a conversation. Probably don't get nobody. Too many people, honey. Come on here, y'all. Hey, Miss Lucille. What's up, everybody? Hey, 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 hey. Good to see y'all. Hey, 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 hey. What's crack-a-lacking? Come on in the room. Let's have this conversation. Good morning. Good afternoon. What time is it? Good morning, everybody. You know when you're traveling, baby, your time just takes a minute to catch. I'm 7 minutes, 7 hours ahead. Then I get back. I'm got to get my timing together. Hey, 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 y'all. Let's come on in for this sanctified and sexy book chat. So if you don't have your book, GwendolynYarper.com or your major online outlets do have it. Barnes& and Nobles, Target, Walmart, all that good stuff. Go get your copy, honey, because we about to have a conversation. If y'all don't like this oxymoron, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. This is my book. It's my story. It's my testimony. And so if any of you deal with a lack of self-esteem, self-confidence, a lack of self-worth, go get this book. It will bless your whole life. Go get it for your teenage daughter. Go get it for your sister, your mama, your cousin, your niece, your nephew, and your baby daddy. Okay? Because I got a whole chapter in here called Men Matter, from a woman's perspective. The name of the book is Far Above Rubies. Subtitle: Sanctified and Sexy, Shape for Purpose. Um, Limited edition. It is. So that's the name of the book. Listen here, let's get into it. Last week, honey, we laughed and we was like, did she put that in there? And I did. I put it in here. And so we talked about it last week. So if you didn't catch the book chat from last week, go on to YouTube or Facebook. It is still on my page. Still on my page. So tag your friends, tag your girlfriend, tag your boyfriend, your boo, whoever. Tag them to the room and let them know that we're about to have a midday snack. Okay? And we fit the chat with this book. All right then. Come on and get into it. The broadcast from this morning's vineyard is up on YouTube. Sorry, TikTok. Sorry, Clubhouse. That y'all was kind of excluded this morning. I'm sorry. Okay, but go to Facebook, YouTube. You can pick it up. Go on and hit tag and subscribe and follow and send friend requests and all that good stuff. Y'all know what y'all supposed to do with these old social media um, platforms. Okay, so go on. If you want to keep in touch, you want to keep up, you want to know how it's going down, then you have to stay what? Connected. You have to stay plugged in to the Vineyard Network. Okay? All right, all right. So what are we gonna talk about this time? Because last week we talked about lessons I learned as a single woman. So this book is multi-dimensional on multiple levels. I talk about things that I experienced, traumatic things I experienced. You know what? Let me just go on and read the back to give you a little idea um, of what this is about. Far above rubies. Okay, it's for those who are living in fear, guilt, and denial of their own experiences. Gwendolyn tells the story of how to overcome past adversaries, trauma, and devastation while being transformed into a sanctified and sexy being. Most of all, this book is to convey to every reader that they are far above rubies. So, a lot of people don't know their value, they don't know their worth, they have no identity. Take a good look. This is what the book look like when y'all go purchase it. Get into it, YouTube and Facebook. Get into it, TikTok. I know Clubhouse, y'all don't have a visual of this book, but it has a beautiful red ruby on the front of it with a solid pure white background with the word far above ruby slightly arched above the ruby. So to give you a idea of what it's supposed to look like when you purchase it for the people on Clubhouse. Okay. And so let me just turn to a section because it's all my story. So it doesn't matter what I read, right? All right. Let's go. This chapter is, I don't even know what chapter this is, but let's see. Let's see what chapter this is. If you have your books, follow along. Yes, it's on Barnes and Nobles. It's at barnesandnobles.com. It's not in the store. The only way I can get in the store is if y'all go on Amazon and blow this book up. Okay? I need 1,000 sales. So spread the word. Let's blow this book up. Let's become what? Number one on the charts. Okay, far above rubies. Let's get into it. Chapter 6, I do, I did, I don't. Okay, this is stories. These are lessons and things I've experienced as a married woman and then post divorce. And so I'll give you a glimpse of some things that I experienced and as a once married woman, and and the lessons that I definitely learned with that previous marriage that I dare not carry into a new covenant. Okay, this book was a very major healing source for me. Um, I I was healed while writing this book on so many levels. And so, like I said, if you need healing, you want to experience transformation, listen here. I am probably one of the most transparent authors, speakers, soul winners you'll probably ever meet, because that's my ministry, truth and transparency. And that's what's lacking in the body of Christ. So many people are afraid to be honest and truthful with themselves, for one, before they're able to testify. This is nothing merely but my testimony of how God transformed my life. Transformation is possible. Becoming healed and whole is possible. But just as I did the work, you got to do the work. And so I just guide you on how to do what? The work. And so once again, let's get into it. Um, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Every chapter have a poem before it, and so the poem is titled Taken. So yes, I do some poetry. I do. I do spit a little lyrics. Okay. Thank you for finding it. I appreciate you. Thank you for your support, Touchdown 24. Yeah, go get multiple copies. Pass them out, okay? And if y'all want me to come in for a book tour, book signing, book chat in person, listen, I do that too. So connect with me, GwendolynYarbrough.com to connect. So let's get into it. Blessings unto you. Somebody's in the room from Clubhouse. Thank you for being in the room. Thank you for being in the room. But let's talk about it. Taken. She supports and embrace your family traces, laying aside every face that is trying to make her shake or break, because she must endure and reassure herself that this thing that makes wealth could be harmful to her health. Caring for her home takes much pride, but she never slips or slides, protecting her children and molding them to become much better than both a him or her, guiding their footsteps with hers and his imprints of life, because she cares to tend and mend those things that seem to want to bend. Strong and worthy, she is encouraged by her journey to keep the family name that she so proudly carries. She is a jewel, not a tool, precious and holds her glory, for it is her hair that tells the true story. She is patient and loving and always thinking of him, whispering kind words in his ear, day and night, like a good bedtime story. Gentle and opinionated, never to be duplicated. Okay, firm and flexible to her husband's needs. To the point of no return is where her love for him leads. Crafty and simple to mind the thing he wants and give her husband a craving without ever a second thought. Faithful and fulfilling to her husband with all her heart, because it is his last name she carries in her heart. That is far above rubies. Um, far above rubies. And so it's called Taken. So welcome to the book chat. I'm telling you, y'all want to go get this book. It is so uplifting and encouraging. And so that was a poem for the wives, basically speaking to her husband. So yeah. Let's get in chapter 6. I do, I did, and what? I don't. So there was a point in my life where I said I do. hmm There was a point in my life I said I did say I do, and then there was a point I said, okay, enough joker, I don't. So I talk pre-marriage, marriage, divorce. Yes, I've been divorced over 20 years. I know I don't look like it, right? To God be the glory. Okay, let's talk about it. There was a time in my life when I said I do. But I do not believe there is anything more rewarding than being a gift, rewarding being a gift for a wife than a husband taking joy in the woman he is sharing his life with on purpose. Like, I believe that is one of the most rewarding gifts that God can give uh, a man and a woman, if that's what they desire. I'm speaking from a desired point of view for the people who are listening. And so, being a wife, I had expectations of how I thought things should have gone and what I wanted to happen. But when you do something outside of God's will, you learn sooner than later that you cannot make anything work that God does not design for you. Can I please read that again for the people in the back who are desiring to be married to anyone, period? If it's not God's will, okay, I'm talking about his good, his acceptable, and perfect will. That's what I'm talking about. You cannot make a man or woman love you, nourish you, cherish you, protect you, provide for you, care for you. They gonna get tired. One of the parties, if not both, and then you're going to end up in divorce court. Okay, because it's not what God purposed for your life. That was not the purpose. That was not the person that God purposed for your life. That's why it is so vital and important that you spend time in prayer and fasting and seeking God's face. Because when you come into the one of the most sacred, holiest covenants, which is marriage, which is a holy institution, it matters who you are joining covenant with. It matters who you are saying, I want to do right. And nowadays, people do not take marriage seriously. They don't honor marriage. They don't honor the sacred institution, the holy institution of our Father, which is marriage, which is the church. It's supposed to be the replica. We are supposed to be the example to the world of this is what God had in mind when he joined two people together to become one. Okay. And so let me read that last sentence again. Being a wife, because I once was a wife. Okay. I had expectations of how I thought things should have gone and what I wanted to happen. Because we all have a vision, we all have a goal, we all have an idea of, you know, what you want from that person or how you want to build, how you want to grow, how you want to do life with someone. But when you do things outside of God's will, which I did, that marriage was one of those things where you trying to cover up a lie and you just now becoming a lie. Okay, that's what that was. And I talk about that in the book, as to how I even got married to someone that was we both knew it was not the will of God. And you have free will, and so you have to deal with the consequences of those decisions. And so I please, please hear me today. Do not, do not, please do not override the will of God for your life. Please, please don't do that. Please don't do that. Blessings unto you, Pastor Edwards and Seeing Life. Welcome in the room. We're talking about Sanctified and Sexy. I did, I do, I don't. Chapter 6 from my latest memoir, my story, my testimony. And so let me get back to it. It said, when you do something outside of God's will, you learn sooner than later that you cannot make anything work that does not design for you. It's not. That's why people stay too long. That's why I stayed longer than trying to make it work, trying to force it to be something that it won't. Creating in my own head that I'm gonna take as much as I can because I'm gonna make this work. All the while, every wound, every scar, every cut, every dagger, guess what I had to go back and do? And it took years. It took me years to heal from something I was trying to force to work. I'm telling you, I learned my lesson the first time. It won't happen again. Okay. It won't happen again. It won't happen again. Uh, but let's go ahead and get into the story. Let me share with you how my popcorn, it really wasn't a my popcorn wedding vows, yes, turned my life upside down. Y'all don't even want to understand. Y'all don't understand. The moment that I proclaim I do negatively changed my life because we both lied to someone near and dear to my heart, my grandmother. Sorry, grandmother. I know you probably gonna watch this later, but it's in the book, y'all. And so let's talk about it. Now don't get me wrong. Q, for the sake of the identity of the person I married. If you don't know him, it's good. If you do know him, to God be the glory. Okay, whatever. Q and I both played the lie out to the T, baby. When I say we walk this thing out, we walk this thing out. It's funny now, but I cried many tears. Like, yeah, I'm laughing now, but the tears I cried, honey, only God. Okay. Whew. We made her believe that we both wanted what we said we were going to do. However, stupid is and stupid does is not just a cliche. It is a lifestyle, and I knew nothing about it. So I found myself digging a hole that I thought I could find rest. Oh, we gonna tell the truth today. Somebody say, tell the truth today. Somebody put in the comments, tell the truth today. By this point, we had our 6-month-old son that we had plotted and planned to have. hmm And we're pregnant with our second baby, which is, y'all see that flag behind me? That was my second son, who just recently passed to just suddenly this past September. He was 21. So I was actually pregnant with him when this situation was happening. And so then came the pressure. It's time for y'all to get married. That's what she told, because we making babies, right? You know how them old folks used to say, baby, you gonna lay down, you might as well make it right. That's not always the wisest thing to tell someone, but hey, when you want to uphold the honor integrity of the person that you love, then you want that man to do right by your family. And that's what my grandmother wanted. She wanted him to do right by me. She didn't have no idea that we were just fighting about 5 minutes ago. So marriage is nowhere. I don't care. Y'all know what y'all do. You do it, you get on with your life, and listen, we ain't this ain't no commitment. However, when you under somebody's roof, and I was under her roof, and so she was like, okay, this is the second baby you bringing into my house and you're not married. Now you making me look some kind of way, and I don't appreciate that because that's not the lifestyle she lived. Somebody put in the comment section, raised the bar. She had standards. Grandma had high standards, and she had high standards for me as well. So, grandmother, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Somebody put high standards, and let's keep reading. So the pressure came, and she said, "It's time for y'all to get married. What are y'all waiting for? Y'all still creeping around, baby. When I tell you my grandma did house, and she did, she said all this. She said, y'all might as well." And so, along with the pressure came his international tour to South Korea. Yes, he served in the military. And I'll let y'all decide if he got honorable or dishonorable. I ain't gonna, that's not my business. Um, I will never forget that day in December of 2000. If I ever get married again, it would never be in the month of December, for the record. Ah, when we lied to my grandmother about already, quote unquote, being married, she wanted to see the proof before he left to go on tour, right? Because he had stayed the night over. He stayed. That's how he got to stay the weekend. Oh, Lord help you. Oh, I thank God for deliverance. She wanted to see proof. And that's when, honey, we had to do something. My head hurt so badly at that point. I was so scared and disappointed. And I was bearing the guilt of being an official liar. Like, I don't, y'all don't, that was a gut wrenching lie. And I don't lie. But I lied that day because he's a liar. I married a liar. I had covenant. I made covenant with the lie. Y'all better be careful who y'all sleeping and playing with around with. I'm serious. I'm serious because you begin to take on the spirits of that you entangling with. You sleep with a liar, you gonna be a liar. Okay? I think I need to go back and revise and add some pointers to now. We're gonna keep this a check. You sleep with a liar, you're gonna be a liar. You sleep with a depressant, you're gonna become depressant. Whatever you sleep with, that's what you produce, women. And so I was sleeping with a liar. And then that's why that lie came so easy out of my mouth when she was like, okay, so where the marriage license? Y'all about to leave. He's staying the weekend over here. Y'all were playing house. Where these papers at? Thank God for grandma holding somebody accountable, okay? And so lies are like walking up a steep inclined hill in flip-flops. Okay, baby. Let me give you that scenario. When you are a liar, am I teaching good, sis? Lies are like walking up a steep inclined hill in flip-flops. Okay. You will go so far for so long, but eventually you will lose your stamina, focus, and the train of thought just trying to keep up. We can stop right there. We're gonna stop right there. If y'all want to know some more about this story about me and how I end up marrying my first husband, y'all got to get the book. I can't put too much out here on these social media platforms. Y'all gotta go get the book. But what I will say is this, honey, I lied. The marriage was a lie. He was a lie. I was a lie. It all was a lie. Okay. Thank you for ordering your copy. Thank you so very much. Listen here, GwendolynYarba.com. It's on all major platforms, online platforms. Go get the book. But my first marriage was a lie. Yeah, it was a lie. It was a lie. I'm telling you, down to the marriage popcorn vows, it was a lie. Listen here. This how when you are so adamant about living outside of the will of God, not seeking the will of God, not even concerned about the will of God for your life. When you're desperate, that was a desperate moment for me. But because now I had to produce something I did not have. Now I'm carrying a second child. And so the guilt of I lied and let you in my grandmother's roof, underneath her roof, the weekend before you was about to leave, and she asked for something I did not have, I now have to produce it. I didn't have to produce it. I just could have told the truth. You know what, grandma, since you asked now, no, man, we not married. But when you are in your flesh, when you are a liar and you ain't had no deliverance, guess what happened? You go along with it. You play along with it. And so I found myself saying now, pressuring him. He was like, I look, I can cause I'm about to skedaddle. I can go. We ain't even gotta do this. You can say you lost it. Just now. We can get married later. That we ain't doing it. I said, no, we doing it right now. We sit up here and lie to my grandma. Oh, yes, we is. Let me tell you about the popcorn vows. We argued all the way to the courthouse. No wedding ring, no engagement, just a baby out and a baby in. Got to the courthouse literally 5 minutes before they closed. The justice of the peace. And I'll never forget this day because I don't believe I talked about the vows. I just said popcorn vows. So I'm explaining the vows today. That's why that marriage don't count to me. I don't care what nobody say. That marriage don't count. I just got my last name changed. So 5 minutes before the courthouse closed, we was like, we walk in and we was like, oh, we here to get married because when you are a military service, and those who are in the military can vouch for this, you don't have to wait the 72 hours to get married. The courthouse will go ahead and immediately marry you. So we showed up to the courthouse, and so they was like, and he was in his outfit, so they knew he was military. And they was like, well, let me see if he's like, I need to get married today, like right now, because I'm about to leave to go to South Korea, and we need this marriage license. We just need the license today. And so the judge was like, let him come on back. 5 minutes to close. Why didn't people then turn us around? 5 minutes to close. The judge brings us into his chambers, and he says, literally, I kid you not. He says, thank you for your service, sir. And they started talking about the military because he was the judge, and I never forget him. Quincy Beavers, Judge Quincy Beavers. I don't know if he's still alive or not because he was real old then. You know what? The Lord gonna hold you accountable. Now I'm playing. Anyways, Judge Quincy Beavers. They was talking about the military, his experience with the woo. He looked down at the time. It was 5:05. He said, oh, God, let me hear him to say these vows. He said, y'all know about marriage, right? And of course, we both like, yeah, we know about marriage. They know nothing about no marriage. Didn't go through no training, no counseling, no nothing. Didn't read no scriptures about no marriage. No, we just saying, yeah, we just need this paper, honey. And so he says, well, normally I don't do this, but since we all in the rush and the courthouse is now technically closed, he said, Quincy, do you take Gwendolyn Yarbrough to be your wife? And he said, I do. He said, Gwendolyn, do you take Quincy Rodriguez to be your wife? He said, I said, I mean your husband. I said, I do. He said, okay, put his little stamp on that paper and send us on about our way. So it was never no death through you. Thank you, Lord. See, when you don't know, baby, it's some things, grace and mercy, and let you just slide on through that you don't be held accountable. God takes vows very seriously. Very serious. And I'm so glad that I didn't vow anything other than to take him as a husband. What's a husband? I had no clue. What's a wife? He definitely didn't have no clue. We literally argued all the way up to the courthouse just for a piece of paper. Literally a piece of, that's why I said popcorn wedding vows. Piece of paper. We had no witness. We had no rings to exchange. Who count that? I don't count that. Who count that? I don't count that as a wedding. I don't count that as a marriage. I don't believe God did either. I'm just saying, thank God I'm free now. Um, but y'all take your vows serious. Take who you going into. I suffered. I suffered. I, go get the book. I talk about some stories in there. I didn't tell everything, but I told enough to make you desire to be in a godly covenant. I told enough to give you insight, to have enough. Hey, 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 Michelle, good to see you in the room. It's enough to prick your heart to say, I need to take this thing serious. I gave you enough insight to show you, if you do not seek the will of God for your husband, far above ruby, sanctified, and sexy, shaped for purpose. Am I making you cry? Is this part of your life? When you don't take, marriage is a holy institution. Y'all, I was just in prayer 2 days ago because of my own situation right now. And I began to just cry out to God. And let me tell you something. While in prayer on April the 11th, God took me to Malachi 2 and 10. And it talks about the treachery of infidelity that the children of Israel did against God. How they betrayed God, the trust, the deceit, the actions that the children of Israel did against the will of God. God was broken from that. And he whooped their head. But marriage is a holy institution. It's the Lord's. It's not the courthouses. It's not your pastor. It's not the standard of whatever religion you associated with. Marriage is a holy institution. And when you go into ungodly covenants, or when you make, it brings infidelity into your marriage. It's going to happen. Period. You can bank on infidelity being the very reason you probably end up divorced, because it's not the will of God. You're not honoring his holy institution, because this is not who he had set for you. And a lot of married couples who've been divorced, they won't tell you this. No, they won't. They too embarrassed. But I'm not, because that's my testimony. Because I know this time around what to look for, what to expect, what to even ask God, my Father, for. What to ask and seek him out about my husband. And believe me, he's talking. And I'm listening. And I'm following his lead. Trusting to believe. You don't want to marry outside of the will of God. The scarring, the bruising, the breaking, the mental anguish, the emotional stress. I can't emphasize this enough. Seek the will of God for your covenant partner, your lifetime partner. It would eliminate a whole lot of heartache, heartbreak, disappointment, traumas, sicknesses. I lost so much weight. I got down to 99 pounds. This ungodly covenant that I made outside of the will of God, my body suffered. I suffered, mentally suffered. Every day was a fight, literally, to live, because I was so disgusted. I was so unhappy. And no amount of how I tried to psych my mind out to make myself feel a certain way, that wasn't the truth, because it didn't start out truthful. So it wasn't going to end. It wasn't going to endure, because we never corrected the lie. That'll preach. But anyways, I was in prayer, and it talked about how um God then sent me to Malachi, because I said, well, how did the children of Israel, what is the remedy when you are when you are involved in treachery, infidelity, or when you disobey God blankly, or when you find yourself going against his will, or if he are you in his will, all those questions. And so in prayer, God took me to Malachi. And he said, write down what I prophesied to you. And if what I said, what I prophesied to you line up, That's how you know it's a no or a go. Y'all better write y'all prophetic words down and continue and take it to the Father. That's another way you can find out if you with who you need to be with. And so after I reading his word, and then you know what? He said it's time for Jacob's punishment. He said, but in the end, he'll be saved. Y'all got to hear me on today. Read between the lines, do whatever you need to, but I'm telling some truth today. Y'all men that's doing things outside the will of God, and God has put you with a purpose, covenant wife, and you do contrary, you're going to suffer the consequences. But God, grace and mercy in the end will cover you. And there will be a restoration when you go over to the book of John. This is a whole nother book I'm working on. But it just so happened to be befitting with today's book. You don't get, there's no way around your consequences. Just vice versa, women. God then gave you and brought you a godly husband that is hard to find these days, needle in a haystack. And you know in your heart you never wanted that man, you never wanted to line up, but because of the God in him and how nice or whatever it is, let me get with him, and your heart not posture right, you're gonna be in trouble too. There's a reckoning you're gonna have to face too. This ain't no one-sided, oh, men always wrong, men always doing something. No, there are some trifling, baby. There are some scandalous women, baby. And every man under the sound of my voice, go read the whole book of Proverbs. Solomon was giving y'all some dynamic wisdom when it comes to seeking and being attached to the right woman. Because if you find yourself entangled with the wrong, clamorous, conniving woman, your life is doomed for damnation. Period. She will be the rottenness of your bones. Thank you so very much. Thank you for ordering. Hey, I'm gonna put your copy in the mail today. I'm gonna put it in the mail today. This is your copy, Lucille. Um. Oh, no. You should already got it. You haven't gotten your book yet. I mailed it last week. You should have gotten it by now. What's today? Thursday. Yeah, you should have gotten it by now. Let me check the tracking on it and see where it's at. But thank you. Yes, I did notice that you did purchase your copy from my website. Thank you very much. But yeah, this is my story. This is my testimony. I don't. Chapter 6. We just talked about it. If you missed it, you probably want to go watch a replay because I had to stop reading because it's just only so much that I want to put on this social media platform. I can hold a conference, I can do a seminar, and we can talk about it intimately. But go get your copy because it's some real stuff in there, and there's some real God solutions in there as well. And so I just want to see people set free. I don't want anyone to experience anything that I have ever experienced, whether it was by my own will or not. I don't. I'm not that type of person. I'm not the type of person to experience something detrimental and keep it to myself. And I hear or know of someone going down that same path and not give wisdom, not even try to admonish. Hey, Apostle, love you so much. And I see even with business, if I have business information, any information, there is nothing that I wouldn't share freely with someone just to keep them from going through the loopholes that I had to do because it wasn't readily available for me. So I believe in doing the work. I believe in assisting when and where I can. Just that's kingdom minded. And if you not you always gonna be trying to charge somebody for something. You always gonna be and there is a time you charge for consultation. There is sometimes you just got to freely give that gift. And so just listen here. Y'all go get far above rubies. Yes, those were my popcorn of the vows. I did. No ring, no witness, no vow exchange. It was I do. And then it was I did and I don't no more. And so it did end up in divorce. Um, and I even had to trick him to do that. It's in the book. I had to literally trick him to sign the divorce papers because when you marry to a demonic principality, just call it what it is. And the devil use anybody. And so he used me at a point. It wasn't because of no wickedness, of intentional wickedness. Let me say that. But when you have intentional, when a person is intentionally wicked, listen, I can talk for days. When the devil know your desires. Let me tell you that. And the devil will place that counterfeit desire in your life. And you'll think you have baby hit jackpot. Okay. And then you'll find yourself in a marriage like I did, thinking things can change. It'll work out. No, it won't. Because God knew the intent of the heart. You didn't. I didn't. I didn't know his heart intentions. I knew my intentions. Even though I lied to my grandmother, I was like, I do care for him. I do love him. So I thought, I didn't know what love was at 19. I was 19 years old, in a courthouse. Got a 6-month-old child and one in the oven. That's why we got to educate our youth. I am a youth mentor as well. Grow You University. Go sign your children up and let them get schooled by the queen, honey. I will school your children on some loopholes they don't even want to jump through, okay? And I will give them divine strategies on how to absolutely avoid them. Grow You University is now taking, yes, listen, youth and young adults, virtual or in person. We got to save our youth. I was 19, knew nothing about marriage, knew nothing about covenant, knew nothing of how sacred that really is to God. Am I speaking your life, Lucia? I'm sorry. But yeah, go get the book. It will definitely help you heal. It would definitely help you transform your way of thinking. I had no self-worth. That's why I did that. I had no self-worth. I didn't value me when I married. I didn't value, no. I was a puppet. I did anything I was a people pleaser. And that comes with the spirit of rejection and the spirit of abandonment and the orphan spirit. Y'all better understand this stuff is spiritual more than anything. And so now that I know those things and lessons learned, like I said, I don't mind teaching it. I don't mind sharing it. I don't mind talking about my own. I don't have to go read about Rahab, Esther, or Ruth, Panana. I ain't got to read about. I got my own story that I would tell you that God transformed, and that's why today I can say I am sanctified and sexy. Sanctification is a setting apart that God does in your life to keep you separated from those things that want to taint your ruby, the things that want to taint your star, the things that want to taint your destiny. Sanctification separates you from Jesus Christ, and that he separates you from what the enemy plan is versus his plan. That's why we have to be sanctified with his word. The word washes us. It washes us. And the sexy part is knowing that that was my experience. I own it. And now I'm walking in my own victory with my head up because I have self worth. It's not because I'm showing my skin. It's not because my clothes is too tight. No, I'm sexy because I'm able to own what happened, walk in my truth with my head held high because I have new garments on. Good God Almighty. Y'all not ready for that type of truth. Baby, go get y'all a book. That's all I got to say. Go get your book. If you want me to come to your church, do a book signing, do whatever, come to your office, come to your ministry. I would love to discuss this. I would love to come and have a more in-depth conversation on becoming sanctified and sexy. shape for purpose. This is our conversation. Thank y'all so very much. We're gonna talk some more about this book. I'm gonna give y'all some more excerpts from it, and I'm gonna get the word out about this book, and hopefully my goal is to sell 100 a week so we can get this word out and see what else God has in store. I'm an author of 7 books and counting, and I just need to start getting the word out about things that I've been processed through, things that I know why I'm living. I'm living because I am a testimony. When you stick with God, you can get through anything. And so I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. God bless you. Go to my website. I have t-shirts on sale, $15. They have been discounted. I have t-shirts available. The Vineyard Network. We have the theme. Go get your t-shirts for your friends, your families. Give somebody the book, Far Above Ruby, Sanctified and Sexy. And until next time, y'all, peace. Go win a soul for Christ, because at the end, only what you do for Christ will last. All right. I love y'all. Have a great day. For those of you desire to sow a seed, thank you, Marie. She has put it in the TikTok comment section. $ FAVORED 1777 is my Cash App handle. Thank y'all so very much. I look forward to seeing y'all soon. God bless.